Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of SMY Podcasts. I am Mano, and this is Yash. Today, we're going to be giving a brief and informative story about Malaysia's independence.
Tanggal 31 bulan 8 57 Merdeka.
So, Yash, could you tell me what is the main cause of the fight for independence?
Well, of course, Manu. So our country was, I'm not sure how to say, invaded and conquered by several forces, including the Portuguese, etc., etc. But most notably, the Japanese and the British armies were some of the most notable conquerors who
Yeah.
took over our land, our country. So the main reason is we were colonized by the Japanese first, and it was a very hard time for all the people who were living at that point of time because during that era, the Japanese army had faced a long time isolation from the rest of the world, and
Mhm.
suddenly they were forced into trade with international in the international market. They were forced to trade in the international market.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they didn't like that. And since they didn't have any natural resources at that time, they decided to go get some. So
Hmm.
first things first, they went and conquered China, and then they conquered many other South Asian countries as well. So
Yeah. So Malaysia
that
fell
included Malaysia, and it reached
victim.
all the way to Singapore.
Yeah, we
So
fell for one of the
after the
victims.
Japanese occupation ended, the British reclaimed the country as territory under their rule,
Hmm.
which led to the despair of many people who thought they were finally free. But then, well, guess who's back? So that's why independence was thought of as a concept in that era, that age.
Hmm. So yeah, coming to the events that led to independence, you see. Yash, could you have a go on that?
Yeah, of course. The effort for independence was spearheaded by Tunku Abdul Rahman, who led a delegation of ministers and political leaders in Malaya in negotiations with the British in London for Merdeka, or independence, along with the first president of the Malaysian Chinese Association, otherwise known as MCA, Tun Datuk Sri Tan Cheng Lock, and the fifth president of the Malaysian Indian Congress, Tun VT Sambandar.
So after this, once it became clear that the communist threat posed during the Malayan emergency was petering out, agreement was reached on 8 February 1956 for Malaya to gain independence from the British Empire.
However, logistical and administrative reasons led to the official proclamation of independence in the next year, on 31st August 1957, at the Stadium Merdeka in Kuala Lumpur, which was created and built with the intention of celebrating National Independence Day. The announcement of the day was set months earlier by the Tunku in a meeting of the Alliance in Malacca.
Yeah. So now we come to the moment of truth. 31st August 1957, the day of happiness and joy. So, on the night of 30th August 1957, more than 20,000 people gathered at Padang Merdeka in Kuala Lumpur to witness the handover of power from the British.
Tunku Abdul Rahman himself arrived at 11:58 p.m. on the stroke of midnight. The lights were switched back on, and the Union Jack in the square was lowered. The new flag of Malaya was raised as the national anthem Negaraku was played. And that's how people, our country, achieved independence.
So, yeah, this was followed, by 7 chants of Merdeka by the crowd. Tunku Abdul Rahman later gave a speech hailing the ceremony as the greatest moment in the life of the Malayan people.
Yes, and it is important to mention that before giving the address speech to the crowd, Tunku Abdul Rahman was given a necklace by the representatives of the Alliance Party Youth in honor of this great occasion in history, with a map of Malaya inscribed on it. The event ended at 1 in the morning. So That's how our country achieved independence, people, and we should be thankful about it. So, yes, we should be patriotic and we should be thankful to our ancestors, our founding fathers, for
Yeah,
giving us independence and bringing forth an age of democracy and freedom.
yeah, correct. Exactly, because without our uh, sorry to say that,
Without their sacrifices,
yes, without our
we wouldn't be
sacrifice,
here in this state.
yes, correct. And we have so much harmony and unity going on in Malaysia. It's one of the most diverse countries in the globe. As you see, we have achieved something great. As you can see, to our fellow international listeners, this is the story of Merdeka, or the freedom. And till next time, see you in the next episode.
27 hari yang mulia, hari bahagia, sambut dengan jiwa yang merdeka.